In a recent interview with Allure magazine, 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 was quoted as saying, "I said, my God, I'm Japanese." Clearly, she's not Japanese. She was not saying she's ethnically Japanese, but implying that she's heavily influenced by Japanese culture. This reminded me of her past trials with cultural appropriation in the early 2000s. I became inspired myself, perhaps even influenced, and I said to myself, my God, let me post this video with Japanese cholos and ask people, is it appropriation or is it appreciation?
Is this in New York?
Is this in Japan?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Definitely not Latino. It's so interesting when people perform other people's culture.
Seem to be of good faith and they're not trying to portray it as something negative or contribute to like a harmful stereotype.
Can be appropriation is if they're just like pretending. I don't have to pretend to be black, pretend to be tall, pretend to be black, gay, anything. It's just who I am.
It feels like someone is wearing your skin.
We're influenced from stuff they do too.
Ew, I want to go there.
It's like heavy on cultural appropriation.
So I showed you the video. All right, well, give me a quick summary of what you saw and what you think about it.
I saw people in Japan embracing, what'd you say, was Chicano?
Yeah,
Right, like,
so.
you know, style.
Right.
Where it can be appropriation is if they're just like pretending. Because, you know, like I said, I am who I am every day. I don't have to pretend to be black, pretend to be tall, pretend to be black, gay, anything. It's just who I am. And everybody experiences different things differently. So if there's like respect and like a true nature to them, then that's fine. But if you just put on an outfit, that can mean something to people culturally. And ultimately, you just want to respect everybody. I mean, no two people are the same. So everybody's culture, everybody's background, things that people love, you want to respect. So if it's in that realm, then it can be fine. Anything outside of that, just not okay. I think universally, we have to kind of always take a beat, because it's so easy to just think that everything is bad because we don't know it, or because it doesn't look like us, it's not supposed to be okay. When people grow up in different places, we're always around different people, so then it could be fine. You know, my experience is not just like anybody else who might be similar to me. So experience it first. See what they have to offer. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be a situation where that is exactly who it is that they are. Like somebody from one of these areas could have lived in, you know what I'm saying? It can be a shared experience, because the good thing about culture is you want to share with somebody else. Like, I have a whole lot of fabulousness that I want to share with a lot of people. And I, in turn, would like them to embrace it and, you know, act accordingly. Not like me, that can't happen, but influenced. I'm okay with that.
All right. I like
Absolutely. I am okay with people being influenced by other people, especially somebody like me, because I'm influential. Hello.
I'm Sophia.
Sophia?
I'm Raphael.
Raphael? Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Washington originally.
Washington. Okay. Now I'm gonna show them this picture. Right. Okay. So you see this picture here?
Yeah.
Okay. How would you describe that? Like, what is it? A certain style? Is there a name for the style? How would you describe this? Like, is this style of dress? Is there anywhere you can like categorize these people?
For me, it feels like Cholo. You know,
Yeah,
like
it feels very Cholo energy.
Come on now. Oh, that's the West Coast. Yeah. Cholo. Right.
Yeah.
Cholo. It's Cholo. What is Cholo style?
You know, it's the big oversized shirt. It's the one button up here and everything open here.
Yeah.
it's the baggier fit on everything.
Okay.
I think sneaker culture is a part of Cholo style now too.
Converse and the big, right?
It's a bit of a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Where are they usually from?
You know, it depends. I think that you can apply, it depends where you're from, right?
Yeah.
If you're in microcosms of like Mexican communities, like that's one thing. Sometimes those microcosms will blend in with like Salvadorians or Ecuadorians or Guatemalans, and they embed themselves too into that community. You know, so it's very, for the most part, I think inclusive, at least where I'm from, in the Bay Area.
Inclusive. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So now, okay, what's your take on that?
I think it's mainly comprised of like Latinos, and I think Latinos come from all over the world. But Cholo culture is kind of, I think, a thing in the United States in general. So it's Latinos in the United States, and then I think outside of that, there are people who are raised in Latino communities who then take part in Cholo culture because they're raised in that aren't necessarily Latino themselves. So I think that's kind of it.
Okay. So this is the video I'm going to show them. All right. All right. So you ready? So this is the video I wanted to show you.
Okay. Oh,
That's it.
Okay.
A barrio picnic, yeah.
that's awesome.
How do you feel about the video I showed you?
It looked like a picnic.
Look like a picnic. Okay. It's in Japan.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. No. Okay.
I mean, there was the Mexican flag, and so there was that vibe going on.
Yeah.
Kind of cool and fun to see
Right.
that, even though it's in Japan.
Right.
And you definitely saw the like hints of Cholo culture throughout it. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I asked you this question because when I before I look at the video, because my initial when I posted it, a lot of people were saying this is appropriation. Some people were saying no, they're appreciating, and some people were saying no, you can wear whatever you want. Do you have any take, or do you have any angle for that would kind of encapsulate your view on that as a whole?
Yeah, I think context is key,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And I don't really have the context just
Right.
from the video alone.
Okay.
I take it at face value, I guess, which is just like a picnic. I don't know their backgrounds.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that it's in Japan is like super cool to me. That,
Okay,
like the
okay.
cultura is like over there, and they're
Yeah.
like,
Right.
you know, hyping it up, having a picnic with lowriders.
Right, right.
So, yeah, context is key, I guess.
Context is key.
Yeah,
Right.
because my first instinct when I saw it, and then I saw the Mexican flag, I was like, oh, there's probably Mexicans here.
Okay.
Because I think people can be mixed, and you can have Japanese Mexican mix.
Right. It can be any mix, right?
And so like to see it, and it's the barrio, and like there's barrios in Japan, there's barrios here in the US, there's barrios everywhere.
Right.
So like for me, that was my first impulse. I was like, oh, this is just some Mexicans in Japan who might also be Japanese.
Good. Okay.
That was my first impulse.
Right. All right. So the people in the video. So I just walked out of a bar and I turned and I saw the street, and I had seen the lowriders before, and everybody there everyone was Japanese. They're all Japanese, and they have what's called a West Coast party.
Okay.
West Coast party, and they have, so my thing when I see it, I was just curious as to most people's reaction, because you see the first thing, I see them cooking tacos, I see the Mexican flag, and I'm kind of wondering what does this mean to them, you know? So, yeah, okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah, here, let me take it.
Oh yeah, it's time. No, it's okay. It's okay. All right, and yeah, so I was curious. I want to see how everyone felt about it. But that's the context is.
Yeah.
It's called a West Coast meetup, West Coast party. A group in Japan. They have an actual kind of not a business center, but they own a couple stores in one area. Where they sell a lot of apparel, like Dickies. They sell like bandanas, things that can help you almost dress like you're from the West Coast or from Cholo culture.
Okay.
So that's the context of that. So
Interesting.
interesting now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
That was literally exactly what I was like, I was like, well, if it's like, as long as it's like enjoying it and appreciating the culture, I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect to see it.
You don't expect to see that in Japan?
No.
No,
I
you
didn't
don't.
either.
You don't?
Right.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Different now.
I'm like, how do I feel about this now?
Right, how do you feel? Right,
Same
different.
reaction.
I love the original answer. That's why I let him continue. Yeah,
It's a lot to think about.
that's it, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of left there, right? This is the face. This is the face. Everyone off into the distance. This is what you, same way. Same way. I love it. This is amazing. Amazing. Wow, that's it. You don't have to, I mean.
Okay.
Jeremy and Liam. Jeremy and Liam. I'm going to show Jeremy and Liam this picture right here. And this is the first picture. Where do you think this is at? It's like New York.
You see the Dodgers, so West Coast based.
Right.
It's also it's like Chicano vibes.
Right.
Right, so-
Chicano, Cholo.
Yeah.
Right. Word. Okay.
So I'm guessing like West Coast.
Yeah. So Jared and Liam, this right here. All right, here we go.
Oh, so you see the Mexican flag, so Chicano culture, all the lowriders. Is this in New York?
No. I'm gonna play it again. You tell me where you think it is. All right.
I think it's in Asia.
You think it's Asia?
I think it's in Asia. Yeah, it's in Asia. Yeah, it's in Asia.
Yeah?
I think so. We're like somewhere out in Japan.
Yeah, this is Japan.
Right.
Is it?
Right.
This is Japan. So it's called. They call it their like El Barrio party.
Yeah.
What's your initial reaction to that? Because the first picture was actually California.
Right.
And like a lot of them may be Mexican American.
Yeah.
How do you feel about seeing that in Japan?
How I feel about that? Well, I think I love subcultures in any city, right? And I think that, you know, it's something special that even New York brings to itself, right? And I think that Berlin is kind of also one of the only cities, I would say, in Europe almost, that kind of integrates that sort of vibe too, right? And I think Japan is also very forward in terms of inclusivity and international influence, whether it's in fashion, music, you know, even tattoo art, everything, right? So I think, yeah, I mean, that would be my take, is representing subcultures in very far away lands is something beautiful, I think, right? Okay. Yeah.
Liam, what we got?
I think it's very interesting. I mean, I don't know the backstory of all of it, but so I can just make some assumptions. And if it's like a small Mexican community in Japan, it's really cool. But I think it's also, I mean, you could definitely have the take that it's just the power of the internet, you know? Japan and Chicano culture aren't like associated very quickly. You don't make that bridge very quickly. So to think that they can have that influence through just hopping on a YouTube video and then seeing the art style there, and they either have a Mexican background and they associate with that and decide to kind of integrate it in their own little subculture in Japan is super cool.
Being dressed the way they are, Mexican flag, also wearing, you know, beards in that way. I think that I don't think Mexican people would feel offended by that. I don't think they would.
I mean, we don't know because we're not Mexican.
Right.
So I don't know, like you can have a cynical or like a more of an optimistic view to see like, oh, you know, we're sharing our culture. We're sharing our culture and or you could also be like, hey, that's kind of a thing that's very personal to us. So it depends on your view and it depends how it makes you feel. But I guess I'm not Mexican, so I can't be entitled to like speak on that.
I guess if it's culture, it's, you know, it's a different thing than religion, right? There's certain, I think, fashion aspects and also traits of people, how they hold themselves or how they dress themselves, that it's very, very religion based. But as long as that is kept culture-wise, I think then I think I don't really have a negative connotation to it.
The closest thing we could like kind of relate it to would be someone wearing like, or like the whole Oktoberfest celebrations here. Like, you know, for me, I love it. Like, I think it's cool that people enjoy German culture and
the leather pants,
the lederhosen, and celebrate with it. So exactly. You see, it's the same vibe in that. You know, there's a whole celebration there. They have the lowriders. You know, they're having a good time. So I think that's cool. For sure.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, very nice, very nice. I appreciate that.
Awesome. No worries.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Benjamin, Stephanie, all right.
New York.
New York?
Miami.
Miami, word. This is what I'm gonna show Benjamin and Stephanie. Well, first I'm gonna show them a picture. All right, so this is a picture. Why are you laughing?
Anyways.
All right, cool. All right, so this picture, where do you think it is?
California.
If you looked at it.
California.
California, right? Yeah. And like, how would you describe it? What would you say there? What subculture is this?
Chicano.
Chicano. Some people say Cholo. You'd be like Chicano, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. You agree?
I would agree.
You agree? Right. Okay. That's the photo. All right. So now I'm gonna show you a video. Okay. Right. Here is the video.
That's so funny.
Oh my god.
I fucking love it.
Where do you think the video is at?
Japan.
Japan.
Japan? Okay. They look like, so earlier you saw a photo, you said they were what? You said Chicano.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think these were people that are Chicano?
No, definitely not.
No? You think, why? Why do you say they're not?
Because they're definitely not Latino.
How did you feel when you saw the video?
I thought it was kind of funny.
Okay.
Because, like, it's so interesting when people perform other people's cultures, and what they choose to represent that culture is more of like saying more about society than it is about anything else, I would say.
I feel like, you know, it speaks to how global our world is, that really anything can happen and transfer of culture is inevitable. So I feel like it's interesting to see people doing it in a productive way. I don't really know much aside from the video, but at least I would hope it's, you know, something in good faith, or like, I don't really know the specifics at all, but it seems like a celebration to me.
It makes me think, like, where did that originate? Like, what was the start and what was the point where that became a thing? Because at that point, I don't know. In one way, I think it is a really Western take to be like, my culture cannot be expressed by others. But I also have since I've lived in Brazil, I feel like my perspective of how they express and exploit their own culture is much more, how do I say, accessible. Whereas in America, there are a lot more chances that people will, like, I don't know, see it in bad faith, or even if it is in bad faith, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's in different places, accept different forms of expression of culture in different ways. So it's hard to really assess if it's either wrong or right. I feel like it lies in a middle ground, and also is very situational.
I would have to agree. I feel like, you know, I'm not of the community that's being expressed by them, but I still feel like it seemed to be of good faith, and they're not trying to portray it as something negative or contribute to like a harmful stereotype. But, you know, it just kind of feels like they're doing their thing, and whatever they're doing is such a niche subculture that I don't know how, you know, let's say like Western media tries to distort things and creates lies and stereotypes and, you know, marginalize people. I don't know if their niche subculture has that power to do so. So, you know, I'm gonna just let them rock. You know, they seem to be enjoying life, so I don't really see a problem.
Other things can be contested as being appreciation depending on context and depending on what exactly it is at hand.
I second that.
So I'm gonna show you this video. I'm gonna show the screen. All right, just want to see what your thoughts are on this. Okay.
Sure.
It's right here.
Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is dope. Is this? Very cool. I love it. Great. Oh, is this in Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was here.
Where'd you think it was?
Oh my gosh, I thought that was like in Brooklyn. Osaka. That's crazy. Wait, what? It seems like, no, this seems like this is like in like Harlem or like the Bronx or something. Why are they people dressed like that? That's crazy. Wait, this is not Japan. Stop it
I
right
walked
now.
down the street and recorded it in Osaka, Japan.
This is crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. There's like a Chicano culture. Like there's like Mexicans or just like Japanese people that just love Mexican culture, I guess. West Coast culture. Dope, fire.
You like it?
Very interesting.
Okay.
I don't know how to feel about it, to me. I'm just kind of like taking it all in.
Right.
Definitely, I'm not of that culture, so like, who am I to say what that is? But I do think some of the, I don't know, it's bordering appropriation. I don't know. It's giving like Chicano / Black culture, West Coast culture.
You go. You ready? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing shit like that when I was out there, like 6'4" and like lowrider.
Word. Word. How do you feel about that? What's your initial reaction or feeling? How do you feel about that?
Like when I see them kind of influenced by that.
Influence. Okay, you said this, so they're influenced.
That's what
okay.
I take from it. They're just influenced by
Right.
like different cultures, like
Right.
lowrider culture, hip hop culture. You know,
Right.
they like oversized clothes and. Yeah,
Word.
yeah,
Is there anything wrong with it?
I don't see anything wrong with it because
Okay.
I mean, we're influenced from stuff they do too, like a lot of people. So
That's right. That's right. So
it's
would
all
you
the same thing.
Word. Appreciation or appropriation? Two words that have been thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like either apply or is there just kind of like a lot of gray area?
I think they show appreciation to it in the right way. I feel like they're not like. I feel like they add to it if anything. You know?
Word. Okay.
And they might bring it to light, like out there.
Yeah.
Like them doing that in a place like Japan brings it to like a different audience that might not know about this stuff, you know?
Right.
So they just like maybe they get into it and they learn about that culture, you know?
Right. Word. I appreciate. I love that perspective.
Yeah,
I love that perspective.
That's how I look at it.
All right. Cool. All right. We'll take that. We'll take that from Andrew. All right. Cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. So now it's your. Don't tell her what's on the video. We're going to 𝗙icia's turn.
Okay.
Come on, 𝗙cia.
Yeah.
All right, 𝗙cia. Where are you from? You're from the Bay?
I live in like the East Bay.
East Bay.
Yeah.
Okay. Family background.
My mom's Mexican and my dad's Peruvian.
Okay.
I'm
Right. You're Mexican
Mexican-American.
American. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Phew. I want to go there.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you see? What did you gather from this video?
Yeah, the lowrider culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Oh, turn the corner and you saw this. How would you feel about that?
I'd want to go check it out. My mom probably wouldn't want to go, but I would go.
Friends or anyone you think that would find there'd be a problem with it, or have any kind of
No,
no?
not my friend.
Good. Okay. Good. You got some good. It sounds like you have some open-minded friends.
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of times, anyone that sees that, they usually say something like appreciation or appropriation. Always tossed around. How do you feel about that?
I think that was like appreciation because
Okay.
when it's appropriation, you can tell the difference between the
Yeah,
two.
for sure. How can you tell the difference if you don't? If you don't
Just
mind me
like the way they like carry themselves and what they're doing, and like the way they're like portraying
asking? Word.
what they're.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's the answer. That's what we got. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. So this is what I'm going to show them. So this picture right here, right? All right. So if you see this picture right here, what would you say? You'd say probably somewhere in what state? Cali, right? For Cali, for sure. So you got that picture. Now I'm going to show you this. All right. So see this video right here? This is what I'm going to show them. So this is something that I filmed while I was in Osaka, Japan. All right. So here we go.
Wow. I feel like they saw that somewhere and wanted to. They liked it, so I was like, let me try it.
Okay.
But I don't know if they look like the people in the picture.
Right.
Everything is pretty fast paced. They look like those people, but I don't really know. Just off first look, it seems like they saw them and like, oh, that looks cool. Let me do it.
So I know from being in Japan, it's kind of a cheat code that I was just there. But not only with that culture, but with black culture, they actually have stores. It's like black urban, or like it literally just says like basically just saying like black people. Like you can come to this store and you can walk out looking like a black person. It's just like heavy on cultural appropriation.
Oh, there's a word.
And so,
okay.
And so that's what I got. It's just that, but with the Hispanic culture.
Did you get appropriation? Did you say appropriation or appreciation?
Just going back to like my first reaction, I like to see the best in people, but I do see the appropriation, and I think that comes from appreciation. Like I want to be.
All right, I would agree that it's appropriation, and I get it. America or Western culture is kind of the catalyst for a lot of trends in other countries that I've seen so far. But just knowing Japanese culture from the little experience I've had with it, it's a very traditional culture and one where they aren't accepting of other cultures in the form of tattoos with the Yakuza and just being a foreigner in general. Like there's some places where you can go in Japan and because you're a Westerner or you're an American, you won't be able to go in there. I feel like if your culture as a whole, that's like still very accepted, then you walking into a store, dressing like a Hispanic person or a black person from America, it's appropriation because you don't really appreciate it. It's not like it's not seen. You're not looking at those people in Japan and like, oh, these are the people that we want to be. It's like they kind of look down on it, but they're taking the style because there's certain group of people who are cool.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm from San Diego, California.
All right, so I'm gonna show Sin a video. All right, so Sin, I just want to see your reaction to the video, and then just tell me what you think of it.
Okay. I've seen stuff like this before. What?
So,
I've seen hella videos about this actually.
all right, well, what was your reaction when you saw the video?
Well, I'm Mexicana, so I'm black and I'm Mexican, and so
Perfect.
half my family is from Mexico,
Okay.
and I'm from San Diego, which is like 10 minutes from the border.
Right there.
It's just weird. It feels weird. It feels like someone is wearing your skin and is like, oh, I'm gonna like love this and be in it. But I feel like with Japanese culture in the States as well, it's like we can't really say nothing because we be doing the same thing. So part of me is like, is it cultural appropriation and am I offended if it's not necessarily them making fun of it, it's just them like loving it, but you don't have the cultural background or the same struggles to know why those symbols of our culture is important. So I feel like some of it is, it's a bit of a disconnect, and it's like, oh shit, that's hella cool. I guess if you're getting something from it. I don't know, I'm in the middle,
If you were to go, you travel to Japan,
Yeah.
turn a corner and you see this, how would you feel? Would you stay? Would you stick around? What would you do?
I think I would stick around just to see what it was like.
Okay.
Just to see.
Right.
Because I feel like it'd be such a culture shock. I really don't know. Like, I've seen it in the video, but if it was in front of my face, I don't think I would know what to do. Because it's like, are y'all speaking Spanish? Like, y'all know the history behind this? Are we like really in it? Like,
Are we
what
really
is this
in it?
about?
I love that.
What is this about? I don't know.
Or appreciation or appropriation? Would you lean towards either side? Appreciation or appropriation?
It feels like textbook appropriation.
Textbook appropriation. Can you
Yes.
tell us what that means to you?
To me, like I said, it's like you're wearing someone else's skin and just kind of parading around it rather than knowing the history behind it and being able to appreciate it from like an outsider's perspective rather than putting yourself in it.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna sit there and be in somebody's experience if I haven't lived it. But that's just my personal opinion. You know, and for me, I feel like I always see it when like white people are appropriating like blackness and our hair and our history, the way we talk and whatnot, but it's like you don't want to give us the same rights because we want to walk around in our like oppression jacket, but you get to take on and off.
Everything but the burden.
Everything but the burden. So a part of me wants to lean that way as well. So yeah, I guess that's how I feel about it.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. What's your name?
It's Kendall.
Kendall. All right, Kendall. Where you from?
California.
Cali.
Already. Okay.
That's crazy. How did it make you feel? Seeing that?
I think it's just crazy because like they don't have like the Koreans that stuff comes from actually there. Like they live in that real house. Nothing coming out of like Chicago and stuff like that. They don't have it. They have like their own home. Like, so I just think that's crazy. Like, or I see like pictures of like everything so fast, like the rest of the thing. But the culture of Chicago, like especially like
All right.
Fiona, 沙看金.
Is this appropriation or is it appreciation? How would you define this? Okay. All right. So this is Osaka, Japan. Can we get a reaction? Can you see what Fiona's thinking? Okay. All right. So, you got any questions, or you want to know?
It's just a little bit of context on where you saw it, just on the streets.
Oh, so this is in Osaka. Dressing like what? What do you mean? this is Japan. This is just people wearing regular clothing, right?
Right.
So this is Osaka, Japan, Kansai area. So,
I don't know, it's just fascinating they dress like this everywhere. I Find if it's appreciation or appropriation, because again, like we said, they're in Japan. They don't understand the cultural context. Like who are they hurting when they dress like that? You know, like when you see it, do you feel fascinated by it or do you feel offended by it?
Well, I was fascinated. I took the video,
right,
so I was fascinated.
Yeah, so like it's very difficult.
Where does Fiona draw the line at between appropriation and appreciation?
I'd say these people are just like, they grew up in Japan, like never been outside of Japan. That's just the style that they see.
Right.
That's the style that they think is cool.
Right.
They really understand the culture behind it. You can't really say that's appreciation either because they don't understand. But I don't think that's appropriation either because they don't intend to steal it from anybody. They don't intend to capitalize on that type of style. You know?
Okay.
Like, let's say if it's a Japanese American person, I'm dying right now. Japanese American person to learn about, like, let's say street style dressing from a certain area in the United States of America that like represents a certain part of the culture. They still do it that way, then there's something to discuss there. Then I want to like hear more about what they're thinking when they dress like that. Like, do you think about the consequences of how you dress?
Word.
Like
Okay.
that. Like a lot of it is consequence based.
I got the same video.
Confusing. It's like I would call it like a clusterfuck. Yeah.
I'll take that.
So it's a bunch of Japanese people throwing a quote West Side party, and they have a party floor, an art floor, and a barbecue floor. But then on the barbecue floor, they had a big Mexican flag, and they were eating tacos.
Okay. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? Did you see the clothing? Did you take note of the clothing?
Yes.
Okay.
Confused to a point of no thoughts.
It's jarring.
It's jarring. There we go. I like that.
I think what I thought of was like last month or whatever recently, Marc Jacobs did a new collection, like Heaven by Marc Jacobs, which like was heavily influenced by like Harajuku street fashion.
Yeah.
And they took those aesthetics. Like
good reference.
They're kind of the same thing, right?
Yep.
Kind of the same thing, not exactly. But so yeah, if Marc Jacobs could do it, why can't these people do it? If they are existing in completely different societies where like these Japanese people doing this like very culturally confused thing doesn't necessarily bring harm to anybody. So I'll say one more thing about the culturally confused part. Like, I think that to me shows that they don't really understand the culture very deeply, right? Like, if you're just using the aesthetic part of it or using it in an aesthetic way, and like, I don't know, categorizing tacos as like barbecue, that maybe that says something about like how deep their engagement with the culture is.